All right, welcome. So this is day two of the 2-day project. Today you're going to have a lot more freedom. So last class I kind of told you I wanted you to do this and this and this and this. Um, and today really the only thing I'm going to tell you is that I want you to outline, and I want the house black, the windows yellow, um, and the moon, we're going to talk about using white crayon and yellow crayon. So there's not a lot of you must do this, and you guys are going to have a lot of other things that you can add, and I'll show a couple of those things. I also have underneath this video a bunch of different artwork that is similar to this. What we're doing is looking at folk art, and folk art is great for like this time of year with leaves and fall trees and stuff like that. For those of you that don't celebrate holidays, look at it more as a way of showing, you can make a leaf pile or something in the middle here. You can add other things, other trees, bushes, whatever. And if you do celebrate, well, then you can add, a cat. On a fence, or you can put something, bats up in the moon behind the house or whatnot. So just know that there's a lot more freedom today, but I want everyone to start the project doing what I do. So to start, you can either use a black crayon or a black marker, washable or permanent. Again, if you're using permanent, make sure you talk to an adult to make sure that they know that you're using it. All right. So anyway, I am going to start out. I'm going to actually grab a different marker. Again, you could use a washable one, or you could use just a black crayon. But we want to get all the black done first. It makes the coloring process a lot easier. Okay. Now I like to outline my windows because I don't want to color inside. I'm just going to do the window panes. So I'm outlining those carefully. But when I color the yellow in the windows, it's a lot easier to do that when I already have the outlining done. So I'm starting with all of the windows. Might have to use a different marker here. All right. So I have a large marker, and it's going to make doing my house a lot easier for me. But for all of you, make sure you take your time. Again, the house is what we call a silhouette. So we're not going to see a lot of the details that we drew. We're just going to see this dark black house with this really bright moon in the background. And depending on what you use, you could see your door. We're not going to see mine because it doesn't have any windows on it. That would be lit up, so it'd be dark from the angle that we're looking at it. So you can tell my marker is a lot bigger than the one I started out using, which is great for covering big areas like this. But when I need to do little details like the fence, you'll notice I switched to a different marker. Again, feel free to pause this video as we work today, or watch the whole thing so you don't miss anything, and then work. Totally up to you. And if you're using crayon, make sure you stay inside the lines. Okay, both of these are open porches on the side. So I'm not doing anything with those. And now I need to switch my marker. Switching again. And I want to get all of my outlining done, so all of my black, so that I can fill everything else up with crayon. Usually you can't do permanent marker over the top of crayon always. All right. So I'm also going to do my tree with this big marker. Again, if you got crayon or washable marker, that's fine. This is really nice and easy because of how large the marker is. Again, we're making this picture either as the sun is going down, or as we can see that large circle in the background is the moon. So just as the moon is coming out or filling the sky with the light from behind, you don't see a lot of details on trees. You just see kind of a black shadow. And it's fall. So I am showing a very empty tree. Okay. And if I wanted to, I could add a fence. Okay. And it's big right away. And as it goes up, okay. And if you wanted to, this is where you could add little things. I'll draw it with maybe a pencil first. It's going to end up looking more like a squirrel, but we'll know that it's a cat, or we'll pretend that it's a cat. And the last thing we got to do is fill up the background sky because it's black. And actually, I would save some time doing this ahead of time, so we won't see those branches. So take your time with this too. But we want to leave, that's the inside of the circle is going to be our moon. And so we're going to make a nice dark sky. You can go a lot quicker if you use crayon. or if you got a big marker. You'll notice I'm coloring not back and forth really fast, but I'm actually coloring with lines. It's less distracting and turns out looking a little nicer. Okay, so check for white spots, and then using a combination of yellow and white. Okay. For the moon, I'm not going to push very hard. And what's nice with the marker in the background is that I can go right over the top of it and it doesn't show any crayon. Okay, so I'm not pushing very hard. Okay. And then when I get into the inside of the house, I want that yellow to be darker. Okay. So I'm going to push harder with these. So we want to make it look like the whole house is got lights on. And so this is why we outlined first. So we can just color right over. Okay. So now we have a little bit of yellow in the background in the moon. And then if I add a white crayon, which I don't right now, I could also go over this with that. As far as our sidewalk, you could do it a lot of different colors. I think of all of these fallen leaves on the ground, and I like a brown and an orange. So maybe brown on the sidewalk. Okay. So the only thing you really had to do is the moon, the sky, and the house like this. Whatever you do on the ground or in the sky or maybe on the sidewalk or any of that, the hill, the sidewalk, and inside the moon is totally up to you. I just wanted you to use some yellow and some white for the moon, and I wanted you to do the house completely black. So I am doing the hill orange, and I hope you go a lot slower than I am. I just don't want this video to be 27 minutes long. I go all the way to the sidewalk, go right over the top of that fence. Okay, and then remember it's nighttime, so there's shadows from the moon. So I could always add, if I can find the black. Add black. And just add a little shadow from that too. So you could add bats. Every time I draw a bat, it looks like the bat symbol. Okay. And you could add tons of other things. Since it's, again, if you don't celebrate Halloween, then you don't have to put anything on there. These can be little pumpkins. Okay. So you do you. And check out the pictures of some of the other folk art down below and add whatever you want to add. So again, I could add a lot more. This is just a quick, easy way that I wanted to show you how to do the house and the sky. Again, you don't have to add a fence, and you can add whatever you want down here by looking at the pictures. So good luck.